Well, looking forward to getting back at it tomorrow. UT-Arlington plays hard. Got a new head coach who's done a great job in this profession. They've got talented players. They played really well versus Oral Roberts, and we know it's going to be a challenge. So, looking forward to it. To kind of recap St. Mary's, I think it was a phenomenal learning experience. It was an opportunity we kind of swung at. We felt like we didn't have a quad one win opportunity in our non-conference, although we think we have some really good teams on our schedule. We felt like let's take a shot at it. And if we learn from that loss, we will be a much, much better team in the end. So a lot of things to learn and grow from, have had some really good practices, and are ready to go tomorrow.
What do you see with them in terms of, contrast to what St. Mary's and a lot of people that just saw you guys playing last? How similar and how different are they?
Tomorrow?
Yeah,
Or tomorrow?
Yeah.
Totally different. When you look at St. Mary's, and maybe I'm crazy for playing them, but I was looking at their roster. They had their top 8 were on the team last year. And that is very, very rare in today's world. We have some older guys, but we're not experienced together. We're kind of your typical transfer portal team, and then you take Jalen House off from that last game, and we just had a lot of new guys and a lot of guys who hadn't played together. I think Nelly getting here about 3 weeks ago, we've kind of had to hit reset, maybe change a little bit of what we're doing, because I was approaching it like Nelly wasn't going to be here. I was hopeful, but I was coaching the team with the guys that we had there, and I think the style may look a little different with him in it, in a good way. Where Arlington is athletic, take you off the bounce, dribble drive stuff, where St. Mary's was way more methodical. And that the only way you can beat St. Mary's is you're probably going to have to beat them in the 60s, like we were able to do last year, or this year we were not. So definitely different contrasting styles for sure.
How surprised were you to see, I know it's happened across the country with some good teams, how surprised were you to see the Sunday result for St. Mary's?
I didn't watch it. From what I've been told, Weber State is a pretty good team. St. Mary's is really good, but they're going to be in a lot of close games. So the way we beat them last year is we made a couple more plays towards the end, and I didn't watch the game, so I don't know the result. I think a lot of weird things are going to happen in all of college sports because of just the evolution of the transfer portal. You don't have many programs with a lot of returners anymore, so I don't know. I can't speak on. I saw the box score. They missed a lot more shots versus them than they did us. That's for sure.
Coach, you mentioned having to kind of reset things when Nelly came in. What were some of those things that might have just been different when you got here?
Yeah, I think stylistically, I was looking at, JT's going to be most likely our starting 5-man. Sebastian would back him up. Maybe we'll even look at Daraje. And then all of a sudden now with Nelly here, now I'm starting to say, I can play JT and him together. So maybe a little bit more similar to last year with, Josiah and Morris, which is fine. I mean, that's not that's an impossible way to play. So maybe a little bit more ball screen motion versus we were kind of running what we call zooms, which is kind of in the NBA these days. But, I think it's beneficial to keep Nelly near the basket a little bit more than flashing high post and doing those things. So that definitely changed just the whole dynamic when he got here. And we've got to find a way to simplify a lot of what we're doing because he's new to it and there's a language barrier. I mean, his English is not, he says it's great, but I don't believe that it is great. We had a lot of miscues on the road, execution-wise with our sets. So just trying to simplify that for him as well.
So over the last week, how much of your focus has been on that post game?
What do you, like
just what you guys are trying to do in the post?
Yeah. Post game, center spot. I think it's figuring out how we're going to play now because I think Nelly, he's physically caught up, and he's going to have to play a lot. He blocks shots, he rebounds. So now we got to figure out who's going to play along with him and how are we going to play. So, yes, that's been a main focal point. Certainly physicality. St. Mary's, they do a great job of fouling you without fouling. Now, there may have been a few fouls, right? But they're so tough and physical. So we took 2 days off, and then we've had 3 really good practices leading up to it. So I told them after the St. Mary's game, I said, listen, I probably scheduled this game. We weren't quite ready for it. I didn't know Jalen would be out. I didn't know Nelly would get here in November. But, it was a good learning experience for us, and we'll be better from it if we do remember it.
You mentioned how the depth is allowing you to extend the press a little bit more, or look at doing that, and pleased with that so far?
Yeah, I mean, it was, and we did it every possession at St. Mary's, more to disrupt necessarily than to trap. So it is certainly something I want to do. Now, it'll be a lot better with Jalen House because there's nobody better on the ball extending than him. So that was a bit of a curveball. I mean, he won't play tomorrow. We thought maybe there was a chance he could play for St. Mary's. So that was very similar to last year where you had Air Force in Wyoming and you thought he could play, and it's his body and he's tough. So, he wants to play, but we got to do what's right for him and his future. But it was challenging not knowing if he'd play. With that being said, I like it. I think it's disruptive. I think we've got the bodies to do it, and we'll keep working on it.
Coach, what's your thoughts on Mustafa after a couple of games?
Oh, he's new. He's new to the program. And like we said, we're trying to figure out how to put a lot of pieces together. As I said before, we have older guys, but we don't have a lot of guys who have played together. And then you throw in Nelly, who just got here 3 weeks ago, and we're all and with Isaac Mushila out 5 weeks, now those guys are back, and we're trying to work it all together. So Mustafa's going to be a good player for us. He's got size, he's got skill, but like every new guy, it's going to take some time.
You did mention Jalen. You said he's not playing tomorrow.
I did.
Is the anticipation that he'll play in Thanksgiving week terms?
I don't know. I think it's kind of a week-to-week type thing. So I think we will play tomorrow, then we'll be off Friday, and then revisit it Saturday and see kind of where he's at. I mean, we want this to heal so that he can play moving forward. We don't want this to be a play one game, out a week, but we can't have that. So the goal is he's not 100%. The goal is to get him to 100% so he can roll the rest of the year. So we'll revisit it this weekend.
What stands out about Arlington?
Their coach does a great job. Has worked at a lot of really good programs, learned from some really good guys. They play very, very hard. They rebound the basketball well. They run a lot of dribble drive. Got good talent. It's not going to be an easy game. All of these games are going to be extremely challenging, and their effort, Arlington's effort level is terrific. So we've got to be ready to go.
Have you been able to? I don't know how much film of them you've broken down or anything, but they had 24 and 14 out of Dewan. What's his name? Dewan
Wagner. Yeah.
Who's played at Kansas State, Missouri, was at New Mexico State last year. What kind of player is he?
He's good. Yeah, he could play he's their 3, I guess you'd say he is, but he could probably play the 1, 2, 3, or 4. Athletic, quick, he can score in a variety of ways. I mean, I think he averages 19 a game. I mean, it's 2 games, or I don't know if you count 1 or whatever, but he's a talented player. I mean, they've got a lot of talented guys in their lineup. And certainly I would assume he's an all-conference type caliber player for sure.
With Nelly, defensively, you kind of mentioned how he's a shot blocker, and that's obviously what everybody thinks of with him. Does that change when you're talking about how to play around him defensively? You guys obviously help a lot when you didn't have a shot blocker and have long closeouts sometimes for open three-point shooters. Does this ease that up a little bit where you maybe don't help as much and maybe there won't be as much space on the perimeter?
Yeah.
Is that what a shot blocker like he does?
Yeah, definitely. You play a little bit more 2-on-2. Most of the stuff comes down to ball screen, so you play a little bit more 2-on-2 and funnel them to the shot blocker. Where we were a little poor versus St. Mary's was you rotate to block a shot, that other guard's got to chip down, is what we say, and that's where you're vulnerable. Is if you rotate, like I don't want Nelly drawing charges. He's probably never drawn a charge in his life. I want him timing it and blocking it, but on the backside, we've got to clean up that rebound, and we had some issues there for sure. So schematically, it's definitely different when you got a guy like him. JT can block shots. And we certainly want those two to be aggressive in trying to do that.
They kind of took Nash out of the game. Are you looking at that as to how to free him up, or was that just unique to that game?
You know, he was 3 for 16. I would say there were some shots he probably would want back, but I think he normally is about 8 or 9 for 16 with the shots he took. Now, St. Mary's one of the best defensive teams in the country. They've got good length. They're terrific. They're physical. I think, but I thought Mash missed a lot of shots that he normally makes. So I'm not concerned with him on that. I think offensively we weren't as good because you lose a guy in Jalen House who's a 17, 18 point per game guy. Like I know everybody just kind of neglects that, but he's one of the best guards in the country. So I think that hurt the rhythm of the offense a little bit. You know, so I kind of flushed that one with Mash. I mean, he's going to make those.
There's been a lot of change in college basketball the last few years with transfer portal and NIL. One of the other big changes in the last few years, since COVID really, you decided to dive right into this morning with your hard-hitting social media post about the quarter zip versus suit. You are team quarter zip, and I'm curious what you and maybe your dad seem to think about that, because you guys are now maybe the head poster children for team quarter zip versus team suit.
Yeah, well, I've got a list of all the coaches that continue to try to ruin the fun for everybody. I don't. It's like going to a Christmas party and everybody's casual and there's a guy wearing a tux and you're looking at him like, why the hell are you wearing a tux? You're making us all look bad. And that's what my dad, the Danny Hurleys of the world, these guys that a lot of respect for them as coaches, but not a lot of respect for them in their attire. They look great, but at the end of the day, I've obviously my dad's my dad. You guys all think I talk to him like 95 times a day, but I don't. But I was texting with the UConn assistant, Kamani Young, who's a good friend of mine, and I said, "You're the problem." He said, "Coach, we won the national championship wearing suits." And I said, all right, you may be the outlier, but I'm going to really do a deep dive into who loses and who wins. But I think about 95% of coaches are wearing the quarter zips. I think, honestly, it's way more comfortable. I'm being selfish, and I'm half kidding with the tweet. But I actually think it looks better on the bench when everybody's wearing the same thing. I think it looks good. So I wish all those coaches that continue to wear suits would stop because nobody wants to go back to wearing suits, and they're trying to ruin it for everybody.
Have you had any other coaches like?
Oh yeah, I had several coaches text me today from a lot of different programs, and told me thank you for championing the cause. Because when you really think about it, I don't know. There's probably low major schools that are not on TV that I don't see, but we see the suits. I tried it in year one. Because it did feel weird at first. I'm like, man, is this unprofessional? But if the NBA can stick to the quarter zips, and they're the pinnacle of our sport, I think that we should all do the same. So I don't think I'm getting to my dad, that's for sure. But hopefully we can shame some other people into stop doing it. One tweet at a time.
And how frustrating was that?
I mean, just seeing like my teammate getting out there and play. When you see on the bed, like on the sideline, kind of be like, golly, I wish I was out there and play, because been like crazy time for me. I never really sit down on the sideline because of injury. This is actually my first time, so like, in me, I just want to stay positive and keep working and work my way out when I come back.
What are fans going to see though when you are? Well, how healthy are you, percentage-wise? Are you
right now? I'm probably like 85, 80, like around that number.
When you're at 100%, what are Lobo fans going to see?
Just somebody who like hungry to win games, like come in, play hard, defensively, offensively, whatever it is. I just want to come out there and make some play, like winning plays. Like I can't do more than that.
For you, what's it like trying to both get back to full health and also just get acclimated to a new team with so many new guys, try to fit in, just balancing those two things? What's that like?
I mean, I feel like me being the whole summer kind of helped me to kind of like know everybody in the team, it's like how they play and how I'm gonna fit in. And then when I got hurt, that kind of like 2-3 step back, but like watching those guys play, I kind of see myself like that I'll fit in. Like I just gotta know like when Mash House, whoever got the ball, I just need to be on the corner or I need to set a screen or I need to do all that. So like from being here in the summer, playing with them, practice together, and just sit on the sideline and watching them play, kind of like help to like understand my role in the team.
How frustrating was the past week knowing that you guys had to sit a whole week on a tough loss like that?
I mean, it's been hard on us, especially the way we come out that game and just the way we play. We really didn't execute it like what we were supposed to do. Like I don't think we really did stick to our game plan. But like after that loss, like our practice been really good. So like we're ready for like Thursday, and I believe we're gonna come out strong and ready to win that game.
Do you see yourself more in the 3 or the 4 on this team? I know it's sort of whatever coach wants you to do is what he'll do, but what do you see? Do you see a 3 or a 4 role for you?
I'm just a basketball player. I mean, for me, whatever I have to play, I'll play. I mean, I never see myself as like a 5-4, whatever. Whatever team I go to, the coach gonna talk to me is gonna say, "I want you to play as a 4." Okay, I'll play as a 4. Like last year, I'll play more as a 5 because we had like 3 of our bigs. They were hurt. They had surgery, so they were off the rest of the season. So I have to fit in. So I have to like play as a 5 to like kind of like help the team. So with me, just like I'm a team player. Whatever needs to be done, I will do it.
And does that include the 5 on this team? You can play some 5.
I don't think in this team I don't think I would play as a 5 because we got Nelly, we got Sebastian and all that. But like I'm just saying, like in general with me, like whatever you want me to play, I'll play.
What are you most comfortable doing?
What am I most comfortable doing? I would just say like, I mean, I play more in the paint, but like it just depends on who's guarding me. Like let's say I got like a 16, 7-footer guarding me. Like it's easier for me to be in the perimeter to just kind of like go off dribble. But let's say if I got like a 6'1", so it's better for me to just be in the paint because you know I'm getting like a 1-on-1 on the block. So it just depends on whoever guarding me and whatever position the coach is going to put me on.
Anything else for Isaac? What stands out about UT-Arlington for tomorrow?
I'll say it again.
What stands out about the team tomorrow?
The team we playing tomorrow. I mean, I just personally for me, I just want to stick for game plan, like what we need to do. I don't really care about like what they're gonna do. I just want to focus more on what we're gonna do because I believe whatever we're gonna do, that's the only thing can help us to win the game. Is the key for the game.
What are you most excited about this team?
What I'm most excited about this team is just like everybody's fun to be around. You know, like it's more of like a brotherhood now. It's not like you get in a team and just everybody in the home corner. That's really not what I'm seeing here. Since I got here, just everybody's so like welcoming. Everybody just like in the locker room, we just laughing a lot, like chucking around and all that. Like I'm loving it, and I believe that like can be translated to the court. But just right now, we got injuries and all that. But like I believe when we're gonna be our like full strength, like we're gonna be a really good team.